Hey, hi. So this is another weekly over community X space. Oh my God, I'm sounding like a rabbit robot. I can't believe it's almost the end of May. We have another day. I keep forgetting sometimes that May has 31 days. I kind of like it to be sooner, but it is what it is. So if you are watching this on my personal Facebook page, the Overland Twitch or Overthink AI Twitch, Overthink AI YouTube, my Digital Fam YouTube, and where else? And Digital Fam Twitch, then welcome. You can see in the description, there's the link to actually join the conversation on X. So feel free to click on that and come in and share your thoughts and insights on Web3 gaming. I'm really excited for this. Let me see, this particular topic. Right now, I am also, I gotta let people in on space. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our weekly over Twitter space. See how I changed my tone? I just wanted to welcome Hexagonaut and Hollywood Lands. How's everybody doing? I love to throw the mic at everyone. Hopefully, catch it so it doesn't hurt. Just kidding. This is really awkward. I need to find. That's okay. It'll be what it'll be. Sometimes I notice that people have requested to speak and I just see this blue line and I'm thinking, oh, or whatever. I'm just thinking, oh, they're just there. But no, really, I cannot read the request sign for whatever reason. Yeah, because it's at an angle. We're just going to wait for a few more people to come on. Let me see if there's still. Oh, yes. All right. Hexagonaut's a speaker. Yes. Thank you very much. If you don't know who Hexagonaut is, you should know, especially if you're a part of the Over community or you're interested in Over, because you would have joined our Discord server and you would notice that he is one of the moderators / admins for the group. And he is one of them that welcomes you and also takes care of your tickets. Hexagonaut, please, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. How's everything on Discord?
Well, activity is slowly picking up with X3 boost. So this is good, but obviously when something good comes around, there's also some issues to fix to make it better, and in order to provide a great user experience to everybody, right?
Right. Are we seeing a lot of those types of issues, or it's just a few?
What do you mean exactly?
The issues with the X boost. Are there any issues with X boost?
I mean, these small technical issues, let's say, but I mean, thanks to the community, we are able to make the world program better, right? And I believe that things are moving on to the right direction, in my opinion. The X3 boost was definitely a great decision, in my opinion, because rewarding people based on randomness is not super rewarding in the end, right? So in my opinion, this is great. How about what's your opinion on that?
I think yes. I love that. That's what the community has been asking for the ability to earn more rewards and to get to really be recognized for their efforts. So I know that once they released the X boost, everybody was really happy. So that's great. But one of the exciting things is Over actually has been releasing over the past 2 weeks iterations and improvements to the OVRMaps. And I really want to talk about this. I know I sent a mic to Grateful Magnet and Hollywoodland. I'm glad they're here because there is something going on in Lisbon, NFC Summit, that kind of like shows people just a little bit of what Over Spatial Platform can do and how Over is taking augmented reality to a whole new level. There's Joe Soyo. He is also Hollywoodland, and I really want to get his take because he actually helped Grateful Magnet get his Bored Ape onto a few venues, side event venues during NFC Summit, which is happening today. I believe this is day 3 of Lisbon NFC Summit. You know what? It's interesting. There are two huge events going on currently at the same time: Consensus 2024 in Austin, Texas, and then you have the NFC Summit in Lisbon. So it's just like insane. And the Over team is currently in Lisbon. Actually, Diego gave a talk, I believe, yesterday or the first day on the main stage. So that's really like amazing. Hey, Hollywoodland, we're having issues. Like I'm throwing the mic, and maybe I threw it. Maybe I threw like a girl, and it went over their head.
Well, let me rebound on what you just said. Actually, so you're talking about NFC Lisbon, and actually, it's been like maybe 2 weeks. Like there's a couple actually, and these two people are actually mapping Lisbon right now, and Lisbon is a beautiful city. Actually, if you've never been there, I actually recommend this destination.
All right then. I'll just after the space, I'll just look for my book my flight. Just kidding. Yeah.
Am I that convincing? Wow.
No.
I should get hired as a salesman then.
You know what? You would make a really good salesman. Not because of this, but because of your experience and stuff like that. You definitely can.
Well, as you know, I did that in the past, but anyways.
Yes, you did. I want to welcome Hollywoodland and Grateful Magnet. Welcome onto the stage.
GM legends, Hollywoodland. Guys, I only have like 1 minute that I can speak, and then I'll just have to listen. But I just wanted to say, how excited I am as usual this week, every week, looking at what's going on with NAR and over the reality. The recent news I just read this week is so exciting. As you know, Digital Femme, that I have a Apple Vision Pro, so I can't wait to jump in and experience this in true AR, VR. So that I'm so excited about. I can't imagine all the mappings that Elias is doing. All these guys. It sounds like we can jump in we're in AR with via a Vision headset.
Oh my God, I forgot that you had the Apple Vision Pro, and I was thinking, I wonder how many people in the Over community or outside have the AVP and will actually be able to experience Over's new, I guess, updated features. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Is it still restricted to the US, or is it available in any other country right now?
Sure, I registered through the app when it came out, just so I was make sure to try to get one. But maybe need to check in the Apple store, and see how to get one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's available in another country, but let me just check quickly.
One other thing, I hope people are visiting the Ape in Lisbon. I know it looks like some of the team is there. So maybe they're pointing some people to check it out on the beach, from what I understand.
I know. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. What's it like seeing your Bored Ape in Lisbon at NFC Summit, and people are actually being able to interact with it and take selfies with it?
Yeah, that's super epic. Hope to make Ape Fest. I think again is in Lisbon, end of the year. Like I think in October. Hopefully, I can go there and take people to the beach and show them myself. But just having the ape uploaded on the land that I can remote visit is super cool because, like I tweeted the other week, I went to a smoothie shop and people and like literally, I told the story the other week, but it's just fun to be able to open up an experience and show people your ape, like, doing like emotes in their store or wherever you are.
No, exactly, and it's perfect timing because the new iteration or the sequel, or they're saying it's not a sequel, it's a restart, kind of like to the story or the saga of Planet of the Apes, like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes just got released in May this year. That's crazy.
Yeah, has anybody seen it?
No, I'm dying to see it. I can't wait to see it. I have not seen it yet. Have you?
Yes, no, same. I mean, I wanna see the most expensive experience. Right?
That's true. That's true. Can you imagine? I'm so happy for
couple of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but also this movie. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna be listening. I just want to jump in and say a couple words, but keep going. I'll be listening to the recording as well.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now I've got some people. Oh, I'm throwing out the mics. Hollywoodland, come up on stage. I want to know your thoughts on the experience you created with the Grateful Magnets Bored Ape in Lisbon.
I turned out really good. I saw Lydia asked for the links, so I put those. It looks like some of the guys were there from over.
That's amazing. Fun. That's great. Are you able to pin it to the top of the nest right now?
I put it in the comments.
Okay. Can you pin it on top
and then all
as
the
well?
links? I don't know how to do that. Let's see. Pin.
All you do is when you share it, share the tweet, and at the very top, you can share it to the space. When you go to your tweet. Okay. This is like exciting. So yesterday, Over the Reality posted, they posted on their socials. Let me grab that. I should be able to pin that on the post. It's just that, you know what? I'm always very, what's it called? I get anxious when I'm posting and I'm hosting at the same time, because it's like, I don't want to rug the room, but I'm going to try. So let's go to over, wish you could show this and see this in real time. There it is. I'm going to post it up on the Nest Jumbotron.
That one.
All right. Thank you very much. So, yes. So I'm going to see that. Yeah. So yesterday, Over posted on their socials, blurring the boundaries between AR and VR. And they were able to show how the OVRMaps that people have been using to map the world, and also just mapping the world, mapping physical locations over the world. I know that I think last week they said that we can now put our 3D assets or AR experiences within the OVRMaps. And you can see right now in yesterday's post, I pinned it up to the Nest, where you can hardly tell like what is real and what is the OVRMap with, I believe, what is this? Like what is that dinosaur? It's a dinosaur, it's a velociraptor, I don't know, but there's some like dinosaur right in the middle of a location. Now it's either a 3D asset placed locally within that location, or it's obviously somebody overmapped it. Is that a verb? Overmapped it and put the 3D asset within that overmap. So you really can't tell. I'm gonna have to share that post on the video stream. But isn't that crazy? Did I rug this?
It turned out really good.
No, it did. So knowing that you can do that on Over now, what has that given you any more ideas in terms of creating content?
Well, I know Mintz, he always asks about that because that's one of the things that he's been like waiting for, so he'll be really excited. But the ability to see it, place it, and then because he wants things very, very strategically placed in some of the mapping endeavors that he's looking to pursue. And so that's That's going to help because you can kind of see the first iteration of that, I guess, was the and the Google overlay with it. So you can kind of see from a top view down where things were, and that helped. But this will give you more of a, like if you want to put a poster on a wall or you want to put something in a tight space, this will give you a lot more accuracy.
That too. And I know that it was one thing to be able to create AR experiences in the location that you intended it for. And it's another thing for anyone else to be able to see that AR experience. I would even call it an AR experience, that AR asset, what you created. But unfortunately, even though the ability to see it remotely from wherever you are, the downside is you don't get that full experience of an asset being in that particular location that it was intended for, right? You just like there was a dragon that I think Mitigate Milano did, and that was like fantastic. I loved the dragon they created. But then when I clicked on the link to view it, the dragon was in my living room. And I don't really have a huge living room. So it was like, oh, that's great. There's a dragon in my living room. How cool, but meh. But imagine if that dragon was intended to like be over a location in the Great Wall of China and somebody had mapped that. And then now when we click on a overmap and we can literally jump in, not only will we be able to jump in the mapped experience, the 3D mapped experience in the location of the Great Wall of China, but if that dragon was placed over there, we would definitely be able to experience it in the context that it was meant for. And this is huge. This opens up the whole possibility of the potential for Web3 gaming in RL over the real world. Because if you know, creating environments in world for games is huge. It's one thing for the game mechanics. It's another thing for the physics engine. It's another thing for creating like NPCs and 3D assets, and the weapons and everything you need to use in world to play like a game or whatever that storytelling narrative is. But to create environments, it's incredible. There's shadows, there's shaders, there's the lighting, there's so many aspects, and it takes a long time to create an environment. It's not easy. But now you can literally just like 3D map using Over's mapping features, which is really Gaussian splatting with their AI visual positioning system to create that background or that environment for a game. Now, mind you, those types of games would have to be, I guess, somewhere with a background of a real world location. But that's like amazing. And then again, there's that question of what does that do to game designers whose only role is to create game environments. Like there are literally people that literally not just create backgrounds or game environments, but they literally just go in and take the background and put in like lighting and stuff like that. And that's all they do. But this is like, I'm so excited because now finally you don't have to be a game developer. You could be someone like you or Mint. Do you know what I mean?
When we were doing the Emerald City rug pull game too, we didn't have something like this, so we had to create our own environments. Yeah. Now we can go back and create a different iteration of that game that actually includes the alleys and streets and stuff of Pike Market. Go down and get some of the aquarium, and then everybody that can play can feel like they're in Seattle now. I think it's really a big step. What's up, Matt?
It's a huge step. Hey, Matt.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Steps. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I have not been attending recently. It's such early morning for my stuff, and you all are such early birds around the country and the world. That's crazy. Or late birds and our European friends. I had a quick question on exciting stuff. So I thought I saw a post kind of with this of like hyping Apple Vision Pro and being accessible, but is it only Apple Vision Pro, or is there an app for MetaQuest, or is it MetaQuest 3? Because I couldn't find it the other day.
Oh, good question. I'll put the post up on the Nest, but yes, you're right. You did see that. I think it was 2 days ago. I did ask Alessio, one of the lead devs, I think a few months ago, that whether or not Over was going to integrate MetaQuest 3, and he said yes. Currently, they rolled out the AVP first, and according to Alessio, that could have changed, but according to Alessio a few months ago, they were going to work on integrating MetaQuest 3. Yes. Now, when will that roll out? I do not have that information.
Okay, because that's really what I'm waiting for to see. I mean, I have a lot of assets that have just been sitting waiting for the better realm to put them in. And also because of, well, this might be a naive position, but I don't like having so many things in one wallet. So one of my reasons for not adding more assets is because, to my understanding, still, I can only use one wallet with Over. And sometimes I haven't played with it in so long. Sometimes it'll pick up things from other wallets no, it's the same wallet. That's right. Yeah. So maybe some insight into that if anybody has any, but that's really what I'm waiting for. And of course to continue mapping, but I have to go back and review my mapping skills for some reason. But we can talk about that later.
No,
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, it's good to hear from you, Matt. It's always great to hear from people that have been around supporting Over the Reality for almost 3 years, even longer than me. So it's amazing. I do want to shout out, now that I'm actually looking at who's in the room. I want to doing a shout out to Jesus, the Derbied One, Elias, Lo-Fi R, thank you, Art Hexa. I sent you a mic. I'm not sure if you're able to speak or you are currently in working with a client or in a meeting, but it's always good to see you in the space. I don't know. Hi, Guy, Ghai. Thank you for joining. I'm going to bring up Elias because if you don't know, he is one of the top overmappers of Over the Reality. Predominantly mapping the wonderful peaks and valleys and meadows of Ireland, and now he's in literally the city center of Dublin. So I threw you the mic, Elias. Oh, there he is. Hello, sir. Oh, it says here there was an error adding Elias as a guest. Please try again. I will try again. You may need to drop out and then come back on, or maybe you're here. See, and this is what technology does on the fly. I need to screenshot this. So I'm going to send this to you. All right. So while we're waiting for Elias to come on, there's some issues here. Let's just talk more about the future of Web3 gaming and the future of augmented reality. I don't know. A lot of people are very bullish on VR. And I know that Snap's Lens Studio, Eighth Wall, what is it? There's so many. What is that? Luna AI. And there's a whole bunch of other augmented reality platforms or software lending itself to mainstream users to be able to create augmented reality experiences. The one thing about Over the Reality is that you can not only create augmented reality experiences, but in addition to it, you can create these experiences or what they call these 3D assets or files onto a certain location over the real world. And to me, this is huge because while I don't have time right now to play the games that I like, I've always liked first-person view type of games, whether it's first-person shooter or even something like Minecraft. It's just crazy. So the ability to generate an environment as your player or avatar or character moves through in-world, that is a lot of work. That is a lot of work. I remember when I was living in Frankfurt, I went into the headquarters of Crytek. Yes, I met Crytek through one of the game conferences, and I was invited to their offices by Jens, the marketing guy, and then the salesperson for their physics engine. And I was taken through all the different rooms, and then you had a bunch of game devs, and it was fascinating for me because that's where I got to see that you can get a job if you in a gaming company, and all you would do is to take an environment or a background that somebody had created and add the shaders or add the lights. And that is all, or color in the leaves. There are literally people that are just assigned to, I forgot what the term is, what they called it, but just to create environments, like to add in like leaves and not unnecessary, but to make the game a lot more like pleasing. And there are people that just worked on the roads. There are people that just worked on like particular assets, like just putting in like street lamps or just rocks. It was so eye-opening for me to see all the things that goes into putting a game, because they displayed it out in parts. And that's how I was thinking, oh my God, like this whole environmental thing, especially when you're moving your avatar or character through a certain space, that is a lot of work. But now it is so easy, especially with the OVRMaps. I can't explain it anymore. I will have to put that link in the chats for people that are watching this live stream so that you know what I'm talking about. But those of you who are listening on X/Twitter, you will know, because I put it up on the Nest. Like, you can hardly tell what is a real life location as opposed to what is a mapped location or an OVRMap. I really wish Amadeus could come on. Okay, let's see if he can speak. Does anybody else want to join in? Like,
well, so what's with the occlusion and the mapping? Can you view the map through the AR app now? Is that what you're saying, or is it only through like the desktop? Because I haven't used it yet.
Oh,
because like if there's occlusion and everything like that, you could take your picture in other places now too.
Yeah, well,
you know, if you have two people with a camera, you could walk around and actually look at whatever place you've mapped. You know, like with the dinosaur, you could walk around and look at corners and stuff like that. You should be able to explore those maps in person, right?
Yes. And
or is that only through the Apple Vision Pro?
I believe it should be through your mobile phone, except you don't get that same immersive experience having a headset, like a heads-on device. Obviously, right? But I don't know. Honestly, I didn't go onto that link, but I'm pretty sure, I hope you could also be able to experience the OVRMaps using your phone like you always do. The release of the Apple Vision Pro is something that people have been wanting, giving people a more immersive experience. But that's a good question.
Because at that point, you're basically an immersive 3D street view of Google.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, I'm not sure if you're able to upload any particular 3D asset on a Google map. I haven't followed Google's what's it called, timeline or iterations of their 3D mapping. But basically, yes. However, Google is currently not on Web3 or on the blockchain, right? That you are not currently able to like buy and sell Google Maps and use it to your in your games or in your experiential marketing campaigns or anything like that. But with OVRMaps, you can. Did I answer your question right?
No, you did perfectly. Yeah, I'm trying, like, my mind's erasing now because I'm going to go to some places soon that I get to map, and I'll be like, oh, cool. Now I can create immersive experiences of like Disneyland or Disney World or where, you know, downtown Seattle or wherever I happen to be at. And then from there you can go, I mean, you can create scare games where as you're walking around, you have like these little jump scares that come out for Halloween, or, I mean, there's tons of stuff you could do to make it more immersive.
No, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, if right now, are you down in Florida right now? And I know you said you were going.
No, I'm going Saturday.
Okay, so let's say you go on Saturday and you're in Disneyland or wherever you go, and you're OVRMapping whatever. You can still create those AR experiences locally in Disneyland in Orlando, Florida. However, the great thing about it is if you can upload that 3D AR asset into the OVRMap that you created, now when you send me the link, I can view it in the location that it was intended for in Orlando, Florida. So whatever you uploaded, let's say you did, I don't know what, let's just say Mickey Mouse. I will not only be able to see Mickey Mouse that you created. Oh, sorry, Disney, don't cease and desist us. This is just hypothetical. But whatever you put Mickey Mouse in the overmap, I will be able to view that overmap, that location that you mapped in my living room, but it would not be my living room anymore. I would literally see it. I would grab that. I would have that location that you physically mapped somewhere in Orlando, Florida. And so basically it's combining AR and VR, because you know that with virtual reality, it's one thing to create an environment. And that's what's great about virtual reality, because whatever, I guess, game or experience in VR you log into, you get to see that experience. Where in the past with over the reality, you can create an AR experience intended for a specific location, let's say Central Park, and I can view it. I could grab the link to view it where you put it in Central Park, but I will not be in Central Park. I will just see that experience in my living room, in my bathroom, in Starbucks that I am working at. But now, with OVRMaps and the ability to put the 3D asset within an OVRMap, that literally combines AR and VR. So you're taking the benefits of virtual reality, where it's like it's the scene and the environment that the asset is intended for, and you're also putting that in like an AR kind of like form. Do you get me?
No, yeah, I get you. So do you have an option then as the viewer to see it with the mapped background and without, or do you have to choose one as the publisher? You mean,
are you talking about as a creator? As a content creator?
So as a creator, can I create both and then just be like, they're both out there? And then as like the viewer, I could be like, oh, I just want to see the one because I'm in the location, or I just want to remotely view, or I want to remotely view with the map on location. Or do you have to kind of pick or choose?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer for that. We can definitely ask the dev team to see. And if that would happen, I would think it would just be a toggle button, right? It would be something like whatever, it's just a toggle button. But I don't know right now. That is definitely a question for the dev team. But that is a great question too. Like maybe I don't want to experience that the environment or the location that 3D asset is in. I just want to have that 3D asset in my living room. That's a really good question.
For example, the ones that we were working with Grateful Magnet, there's one of them is right outside of one of the beach locations. There's a ramp that goes up to the door. So using the Google Map overlay, I placed his Bored Ape at the bottom, and it waves at people as they come in, and it's right at the bottom. So they could view it there and take pictures together so you could send the pictures out with just the sand, or you could have the map and we could take pictures not being there like we were there, so you could have both examples.
No, I understand. I understood that. And that's great that you provided that feature. You actually did a workaround. I love that. You hacked that. I love how you hacked that ability to do that. And that is amazing, Joe. That's really amazing. In terms of being able to do that with Over, I don't know, but I wouldn't see why you wouldn't have that ability to just view the 3D asset without the overmap or with the overmap. You should, instead of me doing it, do you have access? Post it in the Discord channel or whatever, and at one of the devs and see. But that definitely is a good question. I mean, I can ask Alessio. I'll ask him right now. But not right now, because this multitasking thing is just too much for my brain. But no, that's a really good question. But I love how you hacked that. Like, that is amazing. I'm so proud of you, to be honest. From someone who came on, I think 3 years ago, and seeing the potential of what Over the Reality could do, and just like getting your feet wet. Speaking of getting your feet wet, where in the world is Hexadized? This space has not been Hexadized today. Boo, boo, boo. He definitely liked and shared the space. You know what he's doing? It's summertime.
Probably in Austin.
Oh, maybe. But I would see posts.
He's Texas. I wonder if he's at Consensus.
I wonder too, but then he would be posting that. Or he's just out doing, he's usually busy in the summer, the entrepreneurial guy that he is. He does a lot for the community where he is at. So I noticed around this time, he gets kind of like busy doing real world stuff. but he'll pop in. He's always supportive in one way or another. Elias, are you able to hop on right now? Were you able to drop off, like leave the space, maybe reset your phone and come back? I'd really love to get your take on this. And you know what's great? If anybody wanted to, like, let's say, have an experience where there are wonderful, beautiful trees and meadows, you can definitely hit up Elias because he's already created. There's Jesus. I'm gonna add you as a speaker, Jesus. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. Okay, I think Elias is dropping. Again, I'm getting that same error. Are you on, Jesus? Hi, Jesus. Hello. Long time no speak.
Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm multitasking. I'm just going to make sure I drop out of this. Twitter is getting, or X, whatever we're calling it, is getting really funny as they roll out changes. And so you'll see, I guess, so you maybe have already experienced what we're seeing here as Spaces hosts, that all the UI is changing like erratically during Spaces and rugging Spaces. And what it seems to be what compounds it is when people like myself, and maybe you too, right? If you have an alt account to support your stream, like if you have you're hosting it under one, like in our case, like say it's OVR, but then the OVR, speaker is on another separate account, then those two things conflict if they're from the same account or linked in anyway and stuff. Yeah, weird things. But anyway, thank you for having me up here. And I love these spaces. I think so much of what it, has come up over the years of you hosting these spaces and all the tech rolling out and things developing have been really insightful. And I'm looking, to OVR and this community as a model of something that is, I and my cohorts in motion pictures have been prospecting for quite some time. Me being the initiation or the force that's initiating something which gets attention and not. And so I just wanted to point out that what Hollywood is doing, especially out there in Lisbon and other places and whatnot, is very akin to some of the things that we're trying to do, in that we very much need so-called digital twins of locations, what we call locations, right? So when we shoot on locations in motion pictures, we go to these same, what we call motion picture assets, right? The same properties that are friendly for film shooting. And, whether that's the Vancouver Art Gallery or, some mental hospital that we now have taken over as a film community, and we just reshoot it and reshoot it and reshoot it and reshoot it. We go there, we go in there as DC Legends of Tomorrow, then, Supernatural goes in there back in the day, and then, X-Files back in the day, and then the next thing someone's prepping, shooting, striking, the set changes, the scenery changes. We need to build it all increasingly in digital. I can throw later on a graphic of what we're positioning for so-called virtual production, and it includes Unreal Engine. So all these assets that, we used to go out and measure, I'm sure you've been out here to Vancouver, right? And our Vancouver Art Gallery, right? Go and measure all these physical concrete steps and stuff, and then draft them all up. And then we would build set pieces, match pieces in our sound stages that looked like them and shoot them as they were them. And then increasingly it became the case that we could create those digitally and then not physically build them, and just build, stairs that were green screened and key shot it out, and then recreate the set digitally. So we've been doing that, and a lot of the assets are already there, right? So, for example, the models for the Vancouver Art Gallery, things that you've seen on, Supergirl, Super whatever, this or that, or, you name your favorite feature. A lot of them are shot up here. So then those assets that exist, they're changing. They're changing all day long. And so the problem with us is that we have to physically go down there and take site measurements, do a survey. And so what we're talking about doing is ultimately having those. And as you said, Google does, play with that, here and there along the years. We've seen them sort of start to introduce models. They bought SketchUp back in the day and then dumped it. And, the idea that you can get these things up onto a geospatially located global map that we can all tap into and create edits to, and then we all are appraised of those edits and live data, is something we're all, I think, striving towards. And I am hoping for OVR to be that one. And so somebody will have to become the de facto, you called it Google, somebody's going to be that paradigm. And I really hope that OVR can do it. And, certainly part of that bigger picture of interoperability and chain agnosticism, and here to support that. And really want to find one partner that we can work with as a community of motion pictures to start actually building and tooling this out, because it's so redundant at this point for us to go recreate the model at great expense. And if they can be scanned and mapped, and we have some of the top LiDAR facilities, we've scanned entire towns for Power Rangers, for example. And, for us to be able to get all that point cloud data, all this other stuff that's coming together, and the models, and all put that into a cohesive package, I think we really start to talk about the true, Ready Player One, stop the side of your thing and pop into whether it's a metaverse experience, go to the bank, pop back out into that beach, go to freaking Hollywood's land out there, and, Lisbon, and grab some ApeCoin or whatever, like all this stuff. Accessibility and meeting people where they're at through the oracles and everything. Super, super bullish on that. So ping me if there's anything to do with anything that sounds like that. I'm in these spaces because of it. And I'm also supposed to be speaking on another stage right now, and I'm like, fuck it, I want to be in that space. Told them to excuse me. I'm really, really bullish on this community. All the people, a lot of you guys I've known over the years, Exodus and everybody else. So super bullish, love what I'm hearing. But ping me on anything that sounds like that, because people on the other end at 75% unemployment in motion pictures, it's time to get them into this space.
Oh my God, Jesus, absolutely. I did want to say congrats on you, because I know that you have been asked to speak and have been a guest speaker in a lot of different X spaces, and sharing your knowledge and providing insights for not just Web3 gaming, but in Web3 in general. And I love that. And oh my God, I appreciate you so much for you're supposed to be in a space, but you chose to be here. Thank you so much. And that goes with everybody else. You know what I love? This is really important to hear from someone in the film industry production space, especially in Vancouver. Well, whatever, LA, because if you don't know, Canada's Vancouver Film School is very, 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 very famous. And the fact that you are working in that industry, I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you have time, but I guess for movie producers and that whole production, you're going to have to rethink your SOP, your standard operating procedure for, I'm glad to know that you guys are excited about it, and it's not like you feel like this is taken away from, the craft.
Well, excited. I was just gonna add a little caveat there. How about scared to death, right? You're talking about geezers like me trying to keep ahead of the curve, right? I'll throw. Let me just grab this graphic and throw it into the comments in a sec, which is what we're proposing. This is actually an internal graphic. Don't spread it around too much. It's very nascent, and we will change it. But I'll throw a graphic that we're proposing as an industry change. And again, stay in touch with me. I'm OVR over. I'm not sure who's behind that. If that's you, Digital Femme. I don't know how people call people on their handles. It's always a front-facing thing, a Twitter X thing, and then the IRL. Hey. My name is Gregory Dewar. I'm on LinkedIn, and you're going to start to see me interact with the OVR official account more and more, because motion picture people ain't coming out here to this space, frankly, not my fucking black book. There's no way I'm bringing somebody that grows this $4.3 billion a year into one of these spaces and, letting them suffer the reputational risk and brand risk and all that hazard that some of the other people who come on my spaces have had to suffer. People like Yasu from Animoca and everything else. Once you get into the DAOs and all this decentralized stuff, you can really catch strays and stuff. So, look for me on LinkedIn, and I will be starting to put these pieces together and build up a motion picture Web3, virtual production contingent, including training and stuff. Probably very soon I'll start bringing in the actual union, which is IATSE, and so that includes not only motion pictures, but now we've got video game designers joining. We have animation joining. Most of your local theaters here, is international. So I think Web3 builders especially should be part of this. Otherwise, we'd be daft, right? Trust me, being through motion pictures back in the cowboy days, and now increasingly where it's regulated's the way to go. We did have a Me Too movement, right?
Yes. Oh my God, I love that. Yes, I am handling the official Twitter account, and there are all the other accounts.
Nice.
Please put your LinkedIn link and stuff like that. And so good to that you're all docs and everything. And it's really good. It's good to meet people and see real people instead of just their POPs and hear their voices. That's why I do these live streams behind the scenes. people see my face. Interestingly enough, I noticed that every time I do a live stream, I usually lose 1 or 2 followers, and I'm just laughing. But that's great. But you know who I am. This is me, and this is how it is. But thank you so much for joining. Gregory, right? Greg.
Yes, it is I, Gregory T. But you know what? No one ever. My mom calls me Gregory, and trust me. And also, nobody's capitulating on those streams because of how you're looking. If that's what you're trying to say, it's the opposite. I see on one of these streams, it's faces when there's like 6 people on the actual front facing, like 53 silent listeners. You probably got people in there just on some other shit. Anyway, I love all the things that you do, and I'm so happy that you're the person behind that account. And we have, you know, it's a funny thing. Like I came into this space because of the value. It is, you know, I'm being expected to be speaking on another stage, and all I can say about Web3 is the keynote of it is, at this point, going through bears and bulls and rugs and everything else, is go where you find value, but also where you are valued. Trust me, if you're being sandbagged or gatekept or not valued, fucking move on. There's someone out here that will value you. And so these people in this space right here, including Hollywood, you know, with the contingent that I have out at Lisbon right now, including people on the ApeCoin team and everything else, they're co-founders of the Underground Halls. And yeah, seeing all this come together right now, these are people you want to know in this space. Yeah, behind my back, there's other eyes too, right? Like I said, I'm sort of a messenger for, like I said, the people that grow some pretty fucking big bank. And so, but they're absolutely not coming into here on some Caitlyn Jenner shit, right?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so G, I'm gonna call you G. You're already connected to the Derby One, because I know you entered one of our Filipinos in the Metaverse spaces. You do know that the Derby One used to was a past film producer in Hollywood, in LA, and he and his wife / creative partner will be looking to move back to LA. So you guys are technically, he's actually in Washington, closer to Canada. It would be really great for you guys to connect, because I'm sure you guys will have a lot to say in terms of the film industry, where it's moving, and especially with the advent of AI. So please do connect with the Derby One. I'm sure reconnect with him, and you would have so much to say. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking of creating a space for both of you to come on for Tech Talk Tuesday. I'll message you both, and we'll plan that to talk about technology in the film industry space, and with all the new emerging tech happening, and how it's just gonna like, and what are you guys' thoughts on it? And I'm sure some of you guys might be getting, I don't know, like I'm thinking it's a controversial. Technology is a controversial topic in these old industries, that have been, you know, I'm not gonna say, but I really appreciate your voice. Thank you so much. Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah, no, thank you. And shout out to Derby One, and looking forward to that. Definitely, we got to get this motion picture / Web3 space, you know, coming together more and more often for sure. I can help with that too. People know Crypto Ninja out there. That's the person that is the homie too, and they are the people producing that whale tank right out there too. So there is migration between the two, and actual stuff like that whale tank's going out on Amazon, right?
Okay, you know what? The one keyword you mentioned to me was Unreal Engine. Is that what you're building on currently? Like, I know a lot of the Hollywood or, you know, the film industry has been looking to Unreal Engine, and I believe Matrix, the 4th iteration of Matrix, parts of it have been built on Unreal. Is that what you're working on right now?
So here's the thing. VFX is part of the host, right? So they're not really part of the crew, not to be a dick. So it's just, you know, Derby knows what I'm talking about. They sort of are like a bunch of people that vape in some fucking little dark rooms after the fact and aren't really part of the, you know, lining up for lunch together and shit. On Power Rangers, we brought them on set, and it was funny as hell, dude. Like, they are a different breed, and we tried to mix all of us in proper motion picture production offices with them, and it was mad funny, and they're cool as F. But yeah, they're honestly, we looked at them like poor, like, really pale people that never saw the light of day, that were very oppressed. And my love went out to them. They work, and they have to stay ahead of the curve on some of the most like fucking painful software to be in. I hate being in Maya. I don't even touch it. And so, you know, like, we don't work in those as people who art direct. We or, you know, production designers or producers, but we use whatever tooling is necessary for the job at hand, and every script, of course, is different, and every crew is different, and so it depends. But increasingly, we are dealing with VFX for what is previs. Increasingly, that wasn't, we used to just storyboard with, one of my cohorts in a hotel room with a director. And so what has happened, though, is that there's a huge change, and it's called volumetric sound stages. And that's the difference between going from physical sets, like I talked about, and we work in Rhino, right? Most architectural schools and people who build in 3D, that is ultimately going to be physical, like architecture, or our motion picture sets for the most part. We work in Rhino. So the union, our union, IATSE, just offered training in Rhino for our cohorts, because we have to get out there and build sets today, right now, that have, shit built on a table that carpenters can lift, in pieces and put on a truck and get to set. And that's all done with CNC routers and things that use computer files that are built in Rhino, and or drawings built in Rhino or AutoCAD that are sent to the people to build. So that's most of what you're seeing on screen. But as you know, increasingly you're seeing VFX. VFX makes use of not only Blender, Unreal Engine, but frankly whatever people are good with, and then they use portability, like file translations, save as and exports, and get things to the ultimate engine or whatever they're doing. But ultimately it's going on camera, right, which is a different thing altogether. Unreal Engine is while we're using an actual brand, like we haven't included, Adobe in our training proper, but increasingly we're finding with dealing with the digital and the physical designs coming together, we're needing what's called virtual production. And so we saw that with the addition of green screens and then, set pieces. They're sitting there doing the VFX shot. That's my job. That's me. Go out and build some fucking little thing that is high enough for an actor to stand on and look like they're in the set, right? Stuff like that. And then, but increasingly you can get the actual tight models. And now we're going out like using LiDAR scans and things, OVR has the tech. And so as those models come in, they're like, why are we recreating the wheel and building it physically as they improve? And not only that, but green screens aren't necessary, because we actually have stages that they're called volumetric stages, and all the walls are LED. You've probably seen them. They're extremely expensive. So it's like Mandalorian and other big ones that are using now. But my friends have invested in this with my cohorts. They've put huge amounts of money into being the top or the biggest stages in the world for that, right here, right beside my house. And those are my friends, and those are the guys I'm talking about trying to get in here. But they're not coming in on some bullshit backyard boogie shit. They are, these are millions and millions worth of investment. They've got times value. So as we put that together, Unreal Engine is a prospect. I'll throw a graphic in the thing. Please don't share it around too much. It's very nascent, and it's already being shared as, official motion picture shit. It's not, right? It's just me and some rather official authority that hasn't made it official. So I'll share it in the chat here, but really what we're talking about is using Unreal Engine as the, really the environment for us all to work in. And so with that, there is a huge need, and as I started to have these discussions, the union, you noted that Vancouver actually has more productions than LA, but they're one and the same. We're all the same studios, now increasingly tech vendors like Amazon, Apple, and shit like that. And so as me and my cohort started to push this, the membership started freaking the F out and was like, who can teach us Unreal Engine then? So now we have an official call, and I'm kind of on a hot seat, and it's already being put on blast, like a call for Unreal Engine teachers. So it's here, it's now, and that's what I'm saying, there's an urgency, and I need to start putting these things together, because 3 years later, we're actually at the fucking, excuse my language, but it's time, baby. And I'm behind the 8 ball. I'm like, okay, who can actually train people in this? I'm putting this together, and I got bandwidth issues, but if you can deal in Unreal Engine, there's a lot of future ahead of you, because these aren't just, look at that. That's the idea that now whatever you're calling gaming, right, as an industry, is now completely bleeding into motion pictures, which is a dying industry, but we all love storytelling. So, and then we have, like I said, these, the idea of just going what is mundane at this point, go to the bank or, make a meeting with your PTA. That can all be done in these metaversal experiences. And this is all going to happen in Unreal Engine, in my opinion. That's not financial advice / hey, don't sleep.
No, you know what? That's crazy, because the convergence of technology, every time there's an iteration of a new emerging tech, if you look back, they've always converged. Hence our mobile phones. Now our mobile phones not only are our cameras, they are our broadcasting, podcasting. It's a whole production suite on our mobile phones. And each of those technologies all converge in one little handheld device. It's insane. And we're seeing this convergence. And I know that I brought up the Derby One requested to speak. Welcome to the nest, the Derby One. I know he's super excited about this. Now, I know he's got a take on text simulation. I know he's got this take on text system simulation using AI. A few days ago, I believe he just said, he's got a new title, the director of, text to simulation or whatever. The Derby One, hello.
Hello.
Oh, are you excited or what? This conversation must be your brain cells are tingling.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I mean, there's a lot going on with film in the NFT space, film in AR, film in VR, and now film with AI video. AI video is not quite there yet, but I saw a YouTube video today that explained a bunch of new products that just came out, and we're getting super close. I think by the beginning of end of next year, you're gonna just text to make movies. It's gonna get a little crazy. The whole industry is dramatically changing. Hollywood is a dying beast. In fact, actually, I know you mentioned that we were talking about moving back to LA, but after talking to a bunch of friends in Los Angeles, they are so anti-AI. It's not even funny.
Dude, go look at their site. They just put out a video about it. Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah. For very good reasons we can get into if you want. But yeah, just adding that. I'm looking up to tag that comment into the chat right now as you speak. But keep cooking, bro.
Yeah. I know. They have good reason. I totally understand. I feel very empathetic for a lot of my friends that are there. Their dreams are getting crushed by technology, quite honestly, and that's the way to put it. I'm very tech forward at this point, and I've gone all in on AI, and I still have deep beliefs in NFTs, and I'm moving my way back in that direction. And in AR, for that matter. I actually like AR over VR, but that's a whole different subject. I do like VR. I have a lot of friends. I guess the quote in roaming around in LA is stay alive till 25. I think 2025 is when the new negotiations for their contracts begin. To negotiate for 2026. And I think the unions, my friend, there's going to be a lot of issues, and the studios. I'm glad that IOPS is moving in that direction, because gaming is definitely a world that's going to be fine. I think it's going to change a bit, but it's not going to be as dramatic of a change as LA. I don't think human films are going away. There's just going to be a lot less of them, and that Hollywood grind to get there is going to be a lot harder, and everybody at some point in the next 5 years or so are just going to be texting their own movies. Honestly, you're just going to say, hey, put me in a movie. I want to see myself as Han Solo. And then they'll create that movie for you, and you'll be Han Solo.
One thing, let me as you're cooking here, let me add this question, sure. Let's say, and my job in the motion pictures, so part of my wheelhouse is legal clearances, right? So nothing will put on camera that I don't have to put in a report and make sure that it's legally cleared, including standards and best practices. And therein lies the issue, right? These things are regulated not by studios, and so they're union or not. The idea that we can just go, broadcast something that exists presently, right? And but getting it in front of audiences, that's a whole other thing. Distribution and what is licensed or not is the key issue, frankly. Their dreams our membership dreams being 20. I think it's more a case of feeling absolutely fucking ripped off, and it's not rolled out in any kind of responsible way. People that have children and mortgages and are now facing, homelessness or whatever, destitution over it, absolutely is what unions are for. And so the union is taking a huge stance. We go back in June for negotiations, so that's right away, dude. And we just finished ones, and it's from producers guilds to everybody. Nobody in motion pictures wants to see our shit being used to create other people's garbage and versioning of it, and that's what's going on. So without using closed, approved content by people who are willing to have their stuff part of that, stock of contributions that are feeding the AI, aka Adobe, doing it right and responsible. The only stuff we're using, and even that is not really being approved at this point for legal use, is through Adobe. And so none of it. And you've seen the cases come up from Shutterstock to, there's only 3 or 4 people behind all the stock houses in the world. And trust me, they're not having it. So the idea that people are going to go out there and do broadcasting, which is called the metaverse of broadcasting, 1v1 me on that one. This shit is not going to go out there. This is literally my wheelhouse, and I deal with the top people in LA that do product incentives. I've done that as a position, and trust me, if you're going with Apple, then Google isn't fucking with you, or Samsung, and if you go with Samsung in a movie, then Apple's not fucking with you. They'll put a picture of you on a dartboard in their room if you do it too much. That's literally a quote, right? Top guy, I'm not going to quote who the person is here, but yeah, the top person that does that shit makes those deals. And, we see Guy Osiri come into, the Bored Ape space and these other things with Yuga. And you noted the experience you have out there with the Bored Ape in it. That's like right away a violation. Fucking boom, done. Like we're not going to take the chance, right? And so anything of consequence is not going to have any of that. And so there's a real, it's people's rights for their, and it's a funny thing because that's the thesis of the decentralized space, that digital property rights, and yet we're trespassing all over it once we start using other people's in these AI machines, right? So I'd love to hear your take on that because, that's the real issue. And other than that, it's kind of like a free-for-all that we've seen how that can go, and those things usually get shut down.
Yeah, I don't have a top level view of it, honestly, like you do. So I take your word on it. I think as a human and as a creator, I have a lot of fucking empathy for everything that's going to happen because of AI. There's going to be a lot of strife in just about every industry, and I don't know how long that strife will last, but I think on the other end is going to be a completely different world, and a lot of the things that we know and understand now aren't going to be valid in 10 years, aren't going to be valid in 5 years. For better or worse, that's yet to be seen, and that's also an opinion based on people's personal experiences. I do think unions are a good thing. I am pro-union. I am glad there is a battle, but I hate saying this out loud sometimes, but I think in the long run, the unions are going to end up losing, and it's going to fucking suck for a lot of people. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't have the answers. That's just the way I don't know when that's going to happen. It could be 5 years, it could be 3 years, it could be 10, it could be 20. But I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think AGI is literally around the corner. The big announcement happening on June 6th, because the Apple and OpenAI deal is official, and they haven't announced what it means exactly. And I'm pretty, everybody knows it's for Siri 2.0, but the one thing I see is Sora plus Apple Vision Pro equals text to simulation. And the other day I was talking, over the week, this past weekend, I was talking with my wife, and we were kind of goofing off, and we kind of realized that, because I'm already building towards that particular idea, text to simulation, and we joked that I'm now a simulator director. I'm a director of simulation.
No, I love that. I love that title. Love that title. So you know what? This is let's go. You guys, just strap in. If everyone's listening or watching, strap in, because technology is disrupting, as always, everything else. I'd love to continue this conversation, but we are 6 minutes past the hour. The Derby One, I appreciate your insights and your presence here on this space. Greg, I love it. I love your insights, especially from the top down of the film industry. Let's have this conversation on a particular Tech Talk Tuesday. I will send you the details, both of you, because this is like crazy. We might invite some other people in, like gamers and other people. So let's see. Let's make this conversation is really hot. It's a hot topic, and I know there's hot topics everywhere else. I do want to say to everyone, and thank you so much for joining and your time. Shout out to my colleague Hexagonaut all the way from France. I really appreciate him. Alex in Dublin, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing such an amazing job. I love seeing your face. I love seeing you enjoy and capturing things in Dublin, Ireland. It's amazing. Hollywoodland, Joe. Oh my God, what you've done with the Bored Ape, Grateful Magnets Bored Ape Gearing in Lisbon, amazing. Anytime anyone uses the Over platform or says anything great about the Over platform, you are in my heart. I'm so bullish with Over. I'm so bullish, especially with AR. That's another story. And before I go, I have amazing news. Philip Rosdale, founder and CEO, previous CEO of Second Life. That 3D metaverse that I've always mentioned probably in every single space or every single video. He followed me. He finally motherfucking followed me. Philip Rosdale, I love you so much. You do not understand. I believe he was on Twitter, but he became active recently on Twitter, I guess 3 years ago. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. And understandably so. This guy, I know I said we need to shut down, but here I am on my Second Life brand. Second Life came out in 2003 by Linden Labs out in Silicon Valley, which what's his name? Philip Rosdale founded, and the reason why he founded it was because he believed in collaboration and people connecting people together. So when I entered Second Life in 2005 all the way to 2010, I totally got the digital economy. I totally got the digitization, oh my God, digitization of assets. And do you know how much I spent just on land alone? I spent $300 a month. Yep, $300 US a month paying for space on a simulator slash, I guess, space on the Linden Lab servers just to create content. So nowadays, when you're talking about NFTs and people like Ready Player Me and having avatars and, oh, why would anybody want to buy a 3D asset or a wearable for your avatar? Oh, honey, believe you me. The human behavior, when you're talking about a representation of yourself or your alter ego in a character or an avatar, and you have the ability to customize that avatar with things that you want, oh my God, it's that human behavior is making a lot of money. I mean, why do you think other console games or mobile games are killing it with micropayments? They're killing it with like iterations of the ability to buy like not just weapons but like skins. Skins are killing it. Like all those other things, and that's another topic. But yes, shout out to Philip Rosdale. You have a place in my heart only because you literally created a second life for me. You gave me the portal to get out of nursing and into immerse myself into B-Tech space, and I moved to Frankfurt, Germany because of that, because of you, Philip Rosdale, and I'm still in Second Life, and oh my God. But the Derby One, G is us. Let's have a conversation. I love the Derby One going with the director of simulation. That is so much. That's so perfect. I'm gonna end this. For those of you watching, we do this over the reality community space every Thursday. If you are, let's just do the New York. If you are in Eastern Daylight Standard Time, it's 12 p.m. And then you can go for that. Do follow me in Over the Reality on to find out when. Join the conversation. I do send out the links to these X/Twitter spaces. I want to invite more. I think it's a gift. Giazast, you couldn't come at a better time in terms of sharing your insights from this industry, from the top level down. And then the Derby One coming in with his experience with AI and also the film industry and Hollywoodlands doing that hack. I love how you hacked that experience in Lisbon for the Board 8 using Google Maps. That is phenomenal. You guys have to get together, and I love it. And so everybody, I better shut up now. It's time to go. Have a great weekend, and it's 11/11, guys. Ta-da! Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time here. You know, it's over. On behalf of the Over team, thank you so much, and shout out to the team in Lisbon. Come on, people in Lisbon, where are you? We need to see more photos. Like, because I'm not in Lisbon, I'm not seeing anything. So I don't know, where are you, Diego, Lydia? Start posting from your profile, tag Over the Reality. We got to see some of those shots in Lisbon. If you're not if you are there, if you're not sharing the conversation and the activity, it's a perfect time. I'm just saying. Anyway, bye everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and see you next week. I will hit you up, G, and the Derby one for Tech Talk Tuesday. Hexagonal, arrivederci. No, that's in Italian. Au revoir.
Au revoir, yes.
Okay, au revoir. Okay, bye everyone.
To work on your pronunciation.
Yes, I know.
You're fine. Thank you so much, guys. See you later.
Thank you. Okay.
Everyone, Jesus. Adios. See ya.
Oh, Sosa, we missed you, Sosa. Wait, before we go, I want to welcome Sosa from the Xenu community. I have to say that when we're talking about Unreal Engine, did you know, guys that is listening, that I don't know any other NFT project that is literally created on Unreal Engine? Yep. If you go to the We Are Xenu or this @Xenu token, just follow Sosa. These NFTs are animated using Unreal Engine. The trades are bang on. I'm so proud to be part of the Xenu community, which is on the mainnet's Layer 1 blockchain, which is literally doing great things in the cross-chain, multi-chain space. Oh my God, just follow Sosa right now and follow all the links. The Xenu community, no joke, I'm having a relationship with the Xenu community, the whole community. I've been able to, and Hexagonal knows, I sleep with them literally in spaces, and I wake up to their spaces. So I don't know, I'm married to the Xenu community, man. I don't know what it is. I never understood why NFT communities were so, I never got it. Like, community is the currency for Web3, blah, blah, blah. But I personally never really experienced it until I came across the Xenu community. And I'm sure all the communities like that are out there, but I don't think so. I think the Xenu community is totally special. And shout out to Cars Garlic for coming into the We Are Fitum space with the Derby one, where that's how I got in. But you must check out us. Please follow Sosa and follow the Xenu community, because they are the first and only currently NFT project that is created on Unreal Engine. Like, not a PNG, not some graphic, standard graphic, or just like a little like smoke coming out of its mouth. Fully on animation, guys. You should see the beauty of the shading, the shadows with the traits that they're wearing. I would love for you, Jesus, to look at some of the animations and have your take on the actual creation in Unreal Engine with the quality of those NFTs. Anyway, that was my plug. Shout out to the Xenu community. I love you guys so much. I have your back always, and you know that. Okay, I'm signing out. Bye everyone. I need a song for this. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna sing. Okay, I'm gonna sing. Here's the closing line. Everyone, come on over to the Over the Reality platform. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, bye. Yes, I can be crazy. Thank God this is the behind the scenes. Thank God it's not an official. Just so you know, disclaimer, these live streams are not an official Over the Reality thing. They know, I guess, I'm doing these things. I do have my Over the Reality t-shirt. I'm trying to look like my over picture, you know, the intro and outro and whatever. But I'm enjoying this. So I'm going to go right now, and I'm so glad I got to have that conversation. I'm so glad that Gregory or Jesus came on to the space, and the Derby one. Like, oh my God, technology and the convergence of it. I love it. It's like throwing. It's almost like when you already have a fine-tuned engine, or like everything is going, the moving parts are going, but the outliers are like emerging pieces, like cogwheels, and then you're just like throwing a wrench into something that's already going, and it like totally disrupts everything. It's like, of course, there's going to be challenges and there's conflicts and challenges, because change is is inevitable, and the ability to adapt is so important. You don't have to adapt to technology. Absolutely not. I'm going to stop this right now so people can just see my face. You don't have to adapt to technology. You don't. And sometimes I just wish I want to have a little cabin in the woods, no joke. Hence, I have my studio in a simulated kind of like woodsy area in the middle of my apartment. But yeah, I would have no problem living in the woods, with trees, and as long as I have access to Wi-Fi. But with so much things going on for the future, I will say this, and this is just my opinion. If you want to stay relevant in terms of skills in a type of job, or even as a creator, I would really kind of like encourage and suggest for you who is listening to look into these emerging technologies and just dabble in them, especially in terms of creating. As you know already, humans are creative creatures. We are creative entities. Creation, I mean, come on, we are born out of creation. So creation is literally embedded in our DNA, and we need to express that. And there are so much other things that are happening right now. I would call them tech tools to do that. Absolutely. You can take your pastels, your watercolor paints, your canvas, your sketchbook, and create. You can, take fabrics and stitch it together and create designs and everything. Oh my gosh. And designs like that. And it's great. And with that said, I got to go because somebody is literally there. Bye. Oh my